This month, we have been talking about paradoxes. Our lives are filled with paradoxes. We can either have chaos or peace, grief or joy, believe in X or believe in Y. Um, Politics, you're on this party or that party. Paradoxes are what make our lives flow. So when we have choices between either or and both, let's take a look at those choices. If we go with the either or choice, it stops the flow. It doesn't allow any room for anything new, anything creative. It just simply gives you a choice between A or B, chaos or peace. How about we are a speck in the universe, and yet the whole universe is within us? Or we are like a drop of water in the ocean, and yet the entire ocean is within us. Those are paradoxes. And if we decide we're either or, we get stuck. We stop the flow, we get stuck. So let's get unstuck this morning. And let's go look at and both. So if we look at and both, and we look at chaos and peace, is it possible to have chaos or war and still have peace? I can acknowledge that there is chaos, that there is war in the world. And yet I can go within, look within myself and remember the truth of who I am, and remember that peace is at the very core of who I am. And so in the midst of this chaos, I can have my own peace. I can be at peace. And by being at peace within myself, I am giving others an example and telling them that they too can be at peace, and there's war. When I am grieving, if I go with either or, I can either grieve or have joy. But when I look at it with and both, I can have both. I can grieve the loss of someone I love. I can grieve deeply. And yet I can remember, and we can talk about the fun we had, the things we did, the pleasures we enjoyed. And so in the midst of that grief, I find joy, and I can have both of them. And that helps to create peace within myself. The world has, I don't know how many thousands of religions. Some of them have a whole pantheon of deities. And I can either look at that and go, oh no, that's I believe there's only one God, that we can only have one God, or we can have all these gods. If I look at it, that it's and both, the religions that have a pantheon of gods, those gods represent different aspects of the divine. And when you really look deep into it, you discover that they're still talking about one source and one love. But they have all these gods describing the different aspects. And as one who believes in one God, there's only one life, there's one God, but this God has many, many aspects. And so here we are coming together again with the and finding peace. When you're in trouble, when I'm in trouble, it brings me down. I get depressed. It's easy to get depressed when there's trouble. So can I have trouble and still be optimistic? when I look at life and I see the trouble of my life, I can look at it and go, okay, now wait a minute. I know that God is all there is, that God is in, as, and through me, and in, as, and through everyone around me, everyone I work with, everyone I talk with. We are all one within the divine. So I know that God only wants the best. So I can be optimistic about the future, even though I have trouble right now and I feel depressed right now. I can still be optimistic because I know within me that I have God, and God will get me through the trouble. That love that I hold, that connection I hold with Spirit will get me through anything. Okay, so when we look at who we are, we see, okay, I am one person on a planet with billions of beings, billions of human beings. And this little planet is spinning around, and it spins around the sun, which is a star, just a little insignificant star in the universe that we call the Milky Way. And the Milky Way spins around other galaxies in the cosmos, and the cosmos is expanding. And so here I am, just this little tiny speck, and yet I am one with the universe, which means the whole universe is within me. One speck of water in the ocean, and yet because I can be both, I can be that little tiny speck, and I can be the entire universe. I can be a drop of water, and I can be the entire ocean. That is the power of and allows for unlimited possibilities. Unlimited. It keeps us in the flow of life, the flow of creativity, the flow of existence. It opens up our minds and allows us to be creative. Somebody looked at pictures. You can take pictures. And you can also have sound that you can record. And if you have either or, you either have pictures or you have sound. And somebody said, hey, wait a minute, there's got to be a way that we can have pictures and sound. And with that creativity, that possibility, look what's happened. Not only do we have movies and things like YouTube, which allow me to be here on an island in the middle of the Caribbean, talking to you thousands of miles away. But it's given us Facebook, it's given us modern telephones where we can look at each other and talk to each other. It's given us Zoom and Skype and all of that because somebody used the power of and. They stepped into those possibilities. They opened their mind. Another way that we use the power of and is when we're cooking. I love to cook. And I'll read a recipe and I'll go, okay, that's good. And I try it out. And it says you can use this or this or this. But no, I'm going to take it and I'm going to use and I'm going to create something even bigger, even better. And see, this is the way God works. When we ask for something in our life, the universe says yes. God always says yes. And better. This God and better. I am so grateful for this God and better. So I thought we'd do a little fun exercise using our minds. So we have a choice. We can have either blue or yellow, one or the other, blue or yellow. So, okay, we have blue or yellow. You can think about what you can do with blue. Think about what you do with yellow. Yeah, with yellow, you can make sunshine blue, you can make the ocean. It's pretty limited there. But when we take the power of and we take blue and mix it with yellow, what happens? We get a third color. We get a third color that actually has over 300 shades. There are actually over 300 shades of green. And so by using the blue and the yellow, we can create something different. We can create something more. We can create something beautiful. And that's the way and works in our lives. We can either limit ourselves with either or we can take the and we can get creative and go on adventures and experience life and enjoy life. We were put here to enjoy life. So we can either stay at home or travel. We can either stay at home and do nothing, or we can get out into the world. We can travel, we can explore, we can see new countries, meet new people, have new adventures. That is the power of and. And so the next time somebody says to you, would you like a piece of apple pie or a scoop of ice cream? You can look at them and say, nah, I'll have a piece of apple pie and a scoop of ice cream and some caramel sauce. Thank you. And now I invite you to, if you want to, take a deep breath and close your eyes and join me in the light. I know that God is all there is, and I know that each and every one of us is one with the divine. I know that God is in, as, and through each one of us. I know the universe wants to give us everything we need. It wants to fulfill our desires. And so, with the power of and, the universe gives us not just exactly what we need, but it gives us more. And so when we pray, I pray, beloved Spirit, please give us all that we need and more and better. And the universe hears. And I am grateful to know that this is the truth. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, my friends. Have an awesome day.